Well, we've got a busy day at the shop today. Corey is loading up wheels and tires in the back of my truck. I'm dropping those off for coating. We won't spoil that surprise just yet. We are going to have that in a separate episode where we tackle the suspension and wheels on this car. For now, we want to wrap up the brake upgrade that we're doing. We actually just got a call from the powder coaters telling us that our calipers are all done, so I'm going to pick them up. And simultaneously, I'm going to be going over to a machine shop that we like using to mill down these brake spacers that we got, and I'll kind of show you the details on that when we get to the shop. So right now it's just loading everything up and doing a bunch of chores all at once. I'm just arriving at Patience Metal Fab, and before I get in there, I want to give you guys a quick breakdown of exactly what they're going to be doing for us. Now, you've seen this 3D spacer that Corey made before. What we decided to do is actually purchase an existing 12mm spacer and mill it down a little bit to match the dimensions that we need. So the beauty in that is it's already very close, and it's got the same hub bore dimensions that we need. We just need to mill it down a little bit so that space can get closed in, and then also the diameter of it needs to be a bit smaller because as of right now, it's not going to fit in our rotor properly. So hopefully Patience can do that for us, and afterwards we should end up with a setup that's very tight in terms of tolerances, which is incredibly important when we're talking about the underside, the braking, the moving parts of the car that we're going to need to rely on. So I just talked to Gary and kind of gave him the rundown of what we need done, and it sounds like they're going to have it to us in just a few days, so we'll kind of hang out and wait. In the meantime, he did give me permission to walk through the shop really quickly. This is their new shop, so it's a bit of a mess. They're just sort of stretching their legs getting in here, but they are getting to work on some cool projects already, so I thought I would take the opportunity to walk through and just show you what they've got going on. They do a lot of classic car, off-road power sports stuff, Porsche over here. So they are a custom fabrication shop. They do it all, whereas we focus a lot on Subaru, mostly on Subaru, I should say. They kind of do the different spectrum of aftermarket automotive work. So instead of production manufacturing like we do, they do custom things. Like I believe this car is getting an EV drivetrain. Don't know what they're doing here. This truck has two big turbos sticking out of it. So some really cool stuff. I'm guessing the small project they have for us is going to be pretty simple compared to what they've got going on. But I have a feeling that we're going to be working with Patience Metal Fab more in the future. We'll definitely be back. So shout out to PMF. Thanks for helping us out with this little project. My day of errands continues. Now that I'm done over at Patience, I am heading over to Race Coatings. First, I'm dropping off 2 sets of wheels, and I'm going to keep that a bit secret in terms of what we're doing and what color we're doing. But the thing that pertains to this episode is that we're picking up those calipers that Corey tore apart. I'm not going to reveal the color just yet, but as soon as we get there, I will show you exactly what that's about. So I've got about a half-hour drive here, and then I can do a big reveal.
Many minutes later.
I didn't really get an opportunity to film at Race Coatings, but I do want to give a shout out to Clinton over there. Great guys, great shop. If you need anything done, go up there. And I'm going to prove to you how good the coating is with the calipers that I have in here. For everyone watching, here's the reveal. They are Cherry Blossom Red. They look pink, but if you know your Subaru history, Cherry Blossom Red is what we're calling these. What do you guys think?
I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're pretty cool. Let's take a couple of them out.
Oh, there we go.
Take the front Brembo. There you go.
There's the full 2 or 4 pot, I guess.
So that is the Cadillac ATS front Brembo that you saw in our last video. It looked a little bit more boring compared to now. So we're gonna throw a nice logo on it, reassemble them, get them on the car. I think against the white of the WRX, they're gonna look great. And then, as I mentioned, I dropped a bunch of wheels off with Clinton at Race Coatings as well, so he'll be getting those done. And the whole package, as we're picturing it, should turn out really awesome. So what do you guys think of this color?
What do I think of this color? I think it's perfect. I am tempted to take the rest of that powder and do my brakes now.
This is the first time that I'm seeing these Brembos put together. Corey did a phenomenal job. I love the Brembo sticker on here. It looks awesome. Now it's time to find out what they look like on the car. All we need to do is tear apart the OEM brake setup, which is already partially off, and then we'll stick these on, and we should be able to get this thing drivable today. Happy to say that our big brake project on this 22 WRX is all finished up. Corey and myself just bled everything and it went according to plan. We've got brake pedal back and the assumption is these are gonna be much nicer than the ones we took off. We already know they look a lot nicer, so even just for aesthetic and visual sake, it looks awesome. There's the front, I'll show you the rear one more time. There you go. So it looks great. I'm super happy with the color choice that we picked, that cherry blossom red. It is a heritage Subaru color, so it's only fitting that we used it for this. And it's kind of the theme throughout the car. We have that limited windshield banner with cherry blossoms on it as well, so it all kind of works together really nicely. What I want to do now is throw some wheels on this car, and as you know, I dropped off a couple sets to our powder coater, so that is going to take a little bit of time before we have the official wheels for this. In the meantime, we dug up some factory STI wheels in gold, so we want to just try them on, see how they look on the white car with these cherry blossom calipers. So that's the next step, and after that we'll take it outside, we'll let Owen do his thing with media, get some beauty shots of this, and then take it out on the road, and hopefully these brakes work as intended. If they work as good as they look, then we should be in business. So I think that's a wrap on part 2 of the big brake upgrade on this thing, and all in all, it went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, we had some things we had to work around, certainly, but I think it's definitely worth it, both in looks and performance.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of feedback from you guys in the comments on our social media pages, and some people are sort of praising us for trying this, other people are asking us why we went with this kit instead of like the earlier generation STI stuff, and really the purpose was to do something different than what everyone else was doing. So we wanted to do a DIY kit, and for the most part, it went very smoothly. There was a couple hiccups like having custom spacers made, like our own mistakes of putting the brackets on backwards, things like that that we kind of overcame and are ultimately happy with the end result. Not only the way they look, but the way they feel. We've driven it for a short amount of time, but we have high hopes that when we drive it aggressively, it's gonna act like an OEM STI. And after all, that's the entire idea behind our build so far, is making it the car that Subaru never gave us. So I think job done.
Job done.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching this second part, and tune in for many more episodes. We've got a lot of things planned. I think one of the next things is we got to lower this thing. The brakes look good, the stance not so much. So stay tuned for that. We're also doing some more exterior modifications, and that's just the start. So subscribe to our page, like this video, comment. We'll definitely reply to you guys, and follow us along with our build. Thank you.